YouTube? It's Heretic here. I'm doing my first Phantom Forces deck profile here for you guys. New set plus regional championships just came to a conclusion, so a lot of deck profiles on the horizon, it looks like. Some match videos, hopefully we'll be able to work those in here. I'll be attending a pre-release this weekend. So anyway, I'm going to share with you guys a reworked version of the Bronzong Klinklang deck that Mike Newman played on camera when we recorded at Fort Wayne Regionals. I changed a couple of cards in here, but the idea for the deck is pretty much still the same. Anyway, here we go. Got 4 Bronzors. Yeah, you kind of need him because you play 4 Bronzongs. Pull metal energies out of the discard pile and attach them to your bench Pokemon. Basically Eel or Electric from Noble Victories, which is still around in extended format. Just kind of bringing this thing back in steel form now. That's about all there is to say about that card. He's your energy accelerator. Then we got a 2/2/2 Klinklang line. You manage to get this guy set up, then all of a sudden your opponent's EXs can't touch you, and this is going to be part of a very formidable lock that we'll talk about. Whereas if you can set the whole thing up, I mean, sans Garbodor, you pretty much win. So we have Klinklang as well. Like I said, I'll go back into that in a moment. 2 Cobalion EXs as we start our attackers. 30 damage for 1 metal. Good opening attack. Also discards a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, which is pretty good. Steel Bullet for 3 energies. Manages 100 damage and will bypass all effects on the attack, as well as weakness and resistance. So while not hitting weakness kind of sucks, we have other things in the deck that can, and being able to bypass stuff like Pyroar's abilities, Safeguard abilities, Plasma Clang on your opponent's side, all that stuff is just really good. Next we have 2 Dialga EX. It's the new one from Phantom Forces. For a metal and 2 colorless, he does 60, and if it hits an EX, then that Pokemon cannot attack during the next turn. And the big attack for 2 metal, 2 colorless, you do 150 and you discard 2 metal attached to him. That's really the reason we play him. Of course, you can bring the energy back with Bronzong on the bench, and a Muscle Band on him will hit the magic 170 that takes out a lot of big EXs in the game. And then finally we play 2 Aegislash EX. His ability prevents him from being touched by anything that has a special energy attached to it. So run me up all the Plasma matchups you want. His attack is kind of like Keldeo EX, except with metal energy. It does 3 colorless, and you do 40 damage plus an additional 20 for each metal energy attached to him. Again, very easy to charge up with Bronzong. Bring him up 3 metals, all of a sudden you're hitting 100 damage, and if you're playing against anything that relies on special energy, they can't touch you. So that's pretty effective there as well. Those are your main attackers. Supporters, we have 3 Professor Sycamores. There's the DK coin. 3 Ends. And 2 Colress. It's just standard draw supporters. Again, low number. Of course, with Versus Seeker coming back, we're able to work with that a little bit. Other supporters, 2 Skylas for search, 1 Zerasic for the Seismitoad Garbo lock, so you can disarm Garbodor under a Seismitoad lock, and then Lysander. I'm going to play 3 Steel Shelters, which prevents all of your metal Pokemon from being affected by special conditions. Even more reason to celebrate against Hypnotoxic Laser, Gengar, etc., etc. 3 Versus Seekers. This allows us to play a lot lower numbers of some of our supporters, hence why we only run 1 Lysander. Also lets you potentially have access to Zerasic if you need it again to discard a special energy or a Pokemon tool. Helps you get back just whatever supporter you need at the time, that's why we run lower numbers of most of our supporters in this deck compared to normal. Versus Seeker is just really versatile supporter retrieval card. 3 switch. A lot of things in this deck have high retreat. Don't really want to have to pay that. 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Megaphone, and 1 Professor's Letter. Megaphone, again, for Garbodor. Ultra Balls to search Pokemon out, as well as discard energy that you could search off of Professor's Letter. Also have Computer Search, which works as a pseudo third Ultra Ball, only it does a lot more. So I guess the 2 Ultra Balls work as second and third Computer Searches, dumb down a little bit, however you want to look at it. And then 2 Muscle Bands, mainly for Dialga, to make it hit 170 damage, but use it wherever. I play 3 double colorless energies and 8 metal. And what I was going to get into regarding Aegislash and Klinklang, just kind of something nifty. You get this guy out, your opponent's EXs can't touch you, and then you have him, who can't be touched by anything with a special energy, and then you can get this thing out, which prevents special conditions, so poison won't be damaging you, or burn if anyone plays that. And then you have Cobalion EX if they put like a safeguard or something in front of you that you can cut right through. And immunity to late game N, well, about as close as you can get without using like Delphox or whatever. These guys to keep energy on your board so you have attackers ready. So you can get a pretty lofty setup with this deck. Certain matchups might still be a little more difficult, but for the most part, the capabilities that this lineup offers are pretty darn good. Drawbacks, I think the biggest one really is that this deck is heavily crammed for space. There's really not much room for techs. You have the stuff that you want to run, like, to me, like, stuff like Zerosic isn't, like, a card like that is not really a tech because you're running on abilities, and Seismitoad could present a problem. So, you know, just having that one out for a turn to be able to lay some damage down and get everything charged up. And then, you know, just really the rest of the deck, you know, you just attack, and hopefully, you know, if you have enough defense, you just be able to hit them until either the game until you draw 6 prizes. You wouldn't really have to worry too much about them being able to hit you back, because Klinklang and Aegislash pretty much make it so you have to use a non-EX attacker that isn't relying on special conditions and has all basic energies on it, and that's quite a restriction. But for now, that is epic fail. No worries. That is Bronzong Klinklang. And I am Heretic. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.